What's up everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host Mood616 and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, welcome to the official day 13. I know yesterday I said it was day 13, but no, it was day 12. I totally fucked up. But yeah, welcome to day 13 here, and I've got one here from 1973, and it's a film I've seen before. I just wanted to revisit it, and it was released by Code Red, everyone's favorite company out there. And the film in question here is Messiah of Evil. Yes, this is pretty much a very unknown film. I don't know if it was ever lost or anything, but not a lot of people seem to talk about this film. And I'm not really 100% sure why not. I guess that's just the way it is. But anyways, getting into the premise of this one. Follows your main character, Arletty. She has been receiving some kind of like really stressful letters by her father, who lives in this small town called Point Dune. It's like a small seaside town. And so once these letters stop, she kind of gets a little bit worried, so she decides to make her way down there to go find her father because she's really worried about him. Upon arriving there, she's come to the conclusion that her father is now missing. And she kind of meets up with these people that are in town investigating this local phenomenon or this local legend called the Blood Moon. And what the Blood Moon is where apparently like 100 years before in the small town there was this dark stranger that came through and something happened and he put this curse on this small town. And apparently when the moon turns blood red, shit starts to go down and shit like that. So now it's about 100 years later, and upon their investigations looking for her father, she has discovered that the townspeople are kind of like not hypnotized, but they're under some kind of weird curse where they are now like bloodthirsty maniacs, and they're like feeding on raw meats and like human blood. And now her and her friends, they got to figure out a way to kind of stop this thing before shit goes crazy and they take over the world. So that is the premise of the film. Now, my thoughts on this one. Wow, man. You know, this is the second time I've watched this movie. And the first time I watched this, I just really liked it, you know. This time around, I absolutely loved this movie. It's a very shocking film to me that this was done by an American director by the name of William Hayek. He's actually responsible for writing American Graffiti, and he actually even directed Howard the Duck, believe it or not. Polar opposite films than this one. This was the beginning of his career. Howard the Duck was actually the last thing he did. But he's mostly known for his writing, which really does show in this film because it actually has a lot of substance to a film like this. You'd be, going into a film like this, you wouldn't think it had a lot of substance with the writing and stuff, but it actually does. But this one right here, it's very shocking to me that it's an American film because it's so Euro influenced. It actually feels like this film came straight out of somewhere in Europe in the early 70s. That's how influenced it is. I just absolutely love that about this. It's shot all in California, so it has that kind of seaside, seashore type vibe to it and things. And it just, man, he does such a great job in this film. Atmosphere that you could cut with a knife, man. It's just so thick. It's very eerie. And, the way the story kind of tells itself in this, it's all done in a sense of like, the whole movie's kind of like a nightmare. You don't really know if things are really happening or if they're not happening. But, it's not like psychological or anything. It just has that total nightmare atmosphere to it that really sells this story so good. The whole movie's built on suspense and tension, and it's one of those type of films you're just waiting for the next awesome scene to happen. There's a really cool scene, probably about a third way in the film, where she's at this local grocery store and she sees like this group of people just digging into raw meat and there's blood everywhere. And yeah, it's really cool scenes like that. There's another really awesome scene in this film where this girl's in the cinema and all these kind of, I keep wanting to say possessed, but cursed people are coming into the theater and they're all kind of sitting around her. It's just a fucking fantastic scene. But yeah, the whole film shot very Euro style. It's acted very Euro style. It's even edited very much like a Euro film too, which I absolutely love because I'm a huge fan of Italian films. They are my favorite. And this one just screams all that. It just has so much eerie atmosphere. It's amazing. The soundtrack, absolutely amazing too. Cannot say enough good things about it. Just really, really fantastic stuff. But yeah, a film like this, when you're watching it, it seems to have, when you're watching, it's like so much style. And then, getting back to the substance thing where the writing really comes in. I'm really impressed with what they did with the story here because it's not like a zombie film. It appears that it probably could be a zombie film. You know, the way these people are, you know, kind of cursed and they're doing zombie-like things and, you know, are kind of walking around. But the interesting thing about these characters or these people is that they can walk and talk and do everything else that normal people can. They just can't feel things. They seem to have no emotion. So there's a little bit of substance there, but I like the whole blood moon aspect to it, the whole legend, the whole mystery of the dark stranger and things like that, which they do, you know, you get to know the story by the end of the film. It doesn't just kind of leave you hanging too. So that's kind of cool that they actually did it like that. Not very often you come across films, especially in this time where, you know, they kind of wrap up things very nice. And the very end of the film is actually quite shocking in itself too, because, you know, it's, you know, it could go one way or it could go the other, and it kind of goes this way. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it, but yeah, really good performances this one. A lot of beautiful women, but the locations are fantastic too. Like her father's place that they're actually kind of staying in, he's an artist, and he's just, the place is just filled with art and amazing things and awesome visuals, man. The director really knew the aesthetics, and he knew what he wanted to do with this, and I think he really did deliver super well in this film with everything that he was trying to accomplish, you know, with story and atmosphere and, you know, the tension and everything. So I think everything came together quite brilliantly for this one. But, you know, without giving anything else away, if I had to rate this film, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I don't think it's 100% perfect. I think there is kind of not really minor plot holes, but things that probably could be filled in a little bit. But the writing is really good for a film like this. So, you know, not to contradict myself or anything, but the writing is really good. But I think there is kind of elements that could be just done a little bit better. You know, and the thing I love about this film more than anything is the fact that it doesn't rely on blood and gore. There is a little bit of blood in this film, but it's not like a gore film, you know? It doesn't rely on that aspect. It relies completely on everything else, that tension, that atmosphere, and man, it really does capture it super, super well. So yeah, if you're interested in Messiah of Evil, probably a little bit harder to get your hands on now considering it's a Code Red release, and we all know that Code Red releases are releases that come and go. You know, if you don't get them right away, they're super high priced and blah, blah, blah. Fuck Bill. But anyways, I'm glad that I own this film in my collection because it's a great piece of American cinema that's, it's different, man. It's really, really different. So Messiah of Evil, give it a shot. Don't know what else to really say about it without giving too much away, but that is going to do it, guys. I will check you later and see you in day 14. And as usual,